Man, I'll be mad if I couldn't get my truck back within 347 months and, it's not paid off. That's pretty much what we're looking at, being able to pay off the truck. And, that's why I haven't got it nowadays, pretty much, been without it for 347 months nowadays, whether I wasn't sure if it was because of the bill was up, just because it just had been 2 weeks before I had paid the last bill with $361. And it's pretty much just using like 550s, being able to use the current amount that I had 247 weeks before that. That came out of that fast food check, that we use for school. So, that's pretty much where that came from. And, we were able to get a truck from it. So, that's pretty much where we wanted to use it as a collegiate academic truck and, be able to use, more symptoms of a mechanical performance objective to provide for it as you look more towards Comcast, PMC, T-Mobile, Adobe. You look more into those platforms, and, that's pretty much where you get more of that. So, other than that, you still talking about the outside life. You talking about Club Cielo. You talking about Whole Foods. You talking about Barcelona, Jackalope. You're talking about everyday life in downtown works, other than it being Frost from Reagan building, from Sam Houston building, and knowing the entertainment events that are in Bob Buick Museum and Dale Diamond as well. Being able to shout out to your favorite fans, or being in your favorite stadium that you like. That's more likely to be like your hometown instead of your away state. That's pretty much where you want to be at the time. So, that's pretty much where you be able to relax and understand recreational events and, be able to collect with your 4th of July or Thanksgiving or Easter days, understand the concepts and symptoms of the Urban Day vocabulary that gets sent out to you on your Urban Day deposits. So, it's pretty much where you're using $315 instead of $97, and being able to use more of that subtotal is pretty much where you can buy any meal you want to, as long as you make sure you're clean and you're manageable to the everyday service that's provided on your weekly dismissal. So it's pretty much working with 991 hours, and being able to promote more towards a 20 towards 50 hundreds at the time. So it's pretty much where you just being able to look at $55,590 being promoted at the time, and that happens like 377% of the time. So that's pretty much where that percepts to. So that truck was a heavy dismissal that I lost. Even if it was something about the bill not being paid, or it even being misplaced at the time. So that's pretty much what I'm dealing with now. So it's pretty much as I was looking at when I was purchasing the truck. How much is this truck gonna cost? So that's the whole 9,800 effect on the deal of looking at a truck and being able to purchase a truck, being able to have the sufficiency to purchase a truck. So that's being able to know $97 from $315, and being able to say, okay, well this client has more privilege of showing the prominent acknowledgement that it needs toward making a greater exception toward newer objectives like the Sierra 2008, or the Sierra 2018, or even the Denali 2018, and worrying about like the 1500 truck. So, it's still a good truck, even though it's a modern year and it costs more, but, it's still going to be the same, So, that's pretty much where, you still haven't even paid for insurance yet. So, that's pretty much one other deal that need to be reduced at car dealerships, other than every car being $98,000 cars. You need to be able to mix it up and, be able to build a community company with it, based off of, who's in the neighborhood and, who wants to have a perfect gathering together, being able to certify the identified cars for uh, I, the right identification, being able to use a perfect profile for a perfect synonym of seminars, whether it's a movie actress or a cartoon, character, and, being able to know more about, what $97 is and how it reacts to its sufficiencies based off of $315, and, what its premium edition, rises towards, being a compound combination of a car dealership. You're looking to put your best foot forward. So, it's pretty much what we wanted to do as we got into that 2009 GMC Sierra. As we saw, it had a newer effect to it. So, this is new. This is not 2002 GMC that knocked my eye, as soon as we got seen the other truck that we had to see. So, it's pretty much just looking at the overview of how the idea was purchased, and, being able to look at, the objectives of diversity at the time, being able to look at the old school Sierra versus, more of the urban updated Sierra, and, being able to look at the Z71 package as well is pretty much what interests me, as, this is basically a company brand that's been here since I was a younger toddler, and, being able to know more about, milk and rice, and, being able to know more about oatmeal and cookies at the same time. So, it is a big legendary factory, and I'm truly astonished to be a part of it, being able to know that it's part of my applications, and, it's being able to, expand in its horizons in other ways as well. So, it's pretty much where it reduces my time to play with it, and, being able to use another objectives mindset of it. So, it's pretty much just playing with the truck and, understanding more of its balance, and, how it handles itself on, curves, turns, and all that good stuff. So, it's pretty much where it was working as well as it should. It just seemed to be a weightful. It has weight, and, it's being able to turn. It has a lot more turning power. So, it's pretty much where you're looking at the difference between a Toyota and a Sierra 2008, as, you gain a more modern approach to the urban centric previews, and, being able to know more about PlayStation network. So, it's pretty much as you start to look at those things, you get the preview of, knowing a $98,000 truck, and, being able to use it for a $315 profile is pretty much where you want to be able to use a privileged representation of it, and, being able to use more of a premium language for it. So, it's pretty much what I wanted to establish, and, be able to, if you were like me, you'll be more into the 315 range, and more like me, you trying to get more like me. That's more, you want to be more energized, you want to be more endured, you want to be more long striving, that's pretty much working with CTSV, Cadillac. You're working with Chrysler 300. You're working with the Challenger. You're working with the Charger. That's pretty much what you're working with when you're working with my performance of recognition of recommendations, and so on so and that forth. So that's pretty much how that goes. So pretty much other than that, working on the truck payment, you working on it being $90,000 truck. So that's basically worth about $590 net worth, to pay for, and that's a lot of money to have in your pocket in 2010. Still till today, that's basically been there since 1889, and it's always been a little hard to carry a little money in around where you're at today. So that's just growing up in Houston or Oklahoma, Kansas, all those nearby states, as you learn in more of a metropolitan area for 987 different counties that's around the area. So it's pretty much working on your own Spotify PMC or your Comcast grid, and being able to work with those types of recognitions and recommendations is pretty much where you want to be able to establish a common network for yourself, so you can make a certain scenario and capitalize off of it 977 times. So that's pretty much where you're working with ABF, Stephen Transport, even McLean, and that's pretty much where you're looking at a sub midpoint, and it's where you're looking at a sub midpoint between Waco and Kyle, and being able to know more between Dallas and Houston, and understanding more about their routes of $97, and being able to learn more about the career sites that happen is pretty much where you're learning your 2025 from 2005. So that's being able to learn a little bit more about the Super Bowl from UT in 2006, and them becoming more of national champions, and what happens after that, and being able to know more about the beginning factor of a new century, after you watch Surf Up, or even Surfs Up, or even Smurfs. You're looking at those tough stuff like that. So that's pretty much where you're getting detail going that way. So that's pretty much. Other than that, you are talking about you are talking about at least one to 5 to 50s, being more owned by DWL's Industries, and that's pretty much where you're working with 565 or 567 50s, or either 461 50s, or even 131 50s, and that's pretty much where you're just working with that's when you see me working with a bank account majority of the time. So that ain't even $97 to be exact. You working with at least $13 to $23 at the time. So it's pretty much where you starting the detail of knowing your facts between that, and being able to look at a 50 between 500 and 5200s. And that's just a scenario of Austin Energy, LCRE, or Texas Parks and Wildlife. You had to put equations to the problem at those places, and being able to add those different objectives